Welcome back to OTM. Today's class is all about the thighs, inner, outer, glutes, and a bit of core. And you don't need any equipment, so when you're ready, meet me on the mat. Starting on your back, bringing your feet hip distance apart, hands come down by your side. Soften the shoulders, take a full breath in. As you exhale, start to lift the hips by pressing into the mat with the heels and then lower back down. Exhale, lift the hips, squeeze the glutes. Inhale as you lower. Starting to match your movement to your breath and really feel into the body. Notice how the shape feels, even if you've done it 1,000 times before. Let's go 5, 3, 2, holding at the top on 1. Knees knock out, keep the feet down, knees come back in, lower the hips. Exhale, lift, knees open, knees close, lower the hips. Exhale, lift, open the knees, close and lower, keeping the soles of the feet really heavy. So it's a tiny, tiny knee knock. Let's go 5, 4, just the knees in 3, in 2, on 1, hold the hips high, knees come out and then back under the heels, over the heels. Knees come out, back over the heels. Keep squeezing through the glutes, sending your hip bones high to the sky or the ceiling, wherever you're practicing today. And let's go 5, 4, knees are coming out wide in 3, in 2, hold out 1, pulse the hips up and down. Keep pressing into the heels. Think of your happy place. Let the glutes talk to you. And let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the knees back over the heels and then lower the hips. Start to knock the knees side to side, and then can you heel and toe your feet to the width of your mat? Now, if you're not using a mat, think about the feet coming just a little bit wider than hip distance. Full breath in. Exhale as you lift your hips, opening the knees out wide. Inhale, lower. Press into the heels, open the hips. Inhale, lower. So this time your knees are a little bit wider, but keep finding the same shape. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Now maybe this shape or variation feels a little bit different, and all I ask is you embrace it. Let's go 5. Holding at the top in 4, 3, 2, holding at the top on 1. This time knees come in, knees come out, lower the hips. Exhale, lift the hips. Knees come in, knees come out, lower the hips. Lift, knees in, knees out, lower. Now the knees don't have to touch. They start to find your range, your shapes. Remembering to make this practice as personal as you can. 5 more. 4, knocking the knees only in 3, in 2, on 1, hold the hips high, knock the knees in and out. Now the heels stay really heavy, the hips stay high. And think of where you're feeling this. Embrace it for 3, 2, hold the knees out on 1, keep the hips high, just hold for 5. Squeeze the glutes for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower back down, just knocking the knees side to side here. Start to heel and toe the feet back to center. And can you bring the hands behind the head? Take a full breath in. Exhale as you find a crunch, elbows slightly wide. Inhale as you lower. Exhale, tuck the chin, lift the shoulder blades off the mat. Inhale, lower. Giving your glutes a well-deserved break. Don't worry, we'll get back into them shortly. But for now, focus on drawing the ribs down to the hips and then release. Exhale, ribs down. Inhale, release. Let's go 3, 2, on 1, can you hold all the way up? Can you lift your right leg and then your left leg to tabletop? Lower the head, exhale, lift the head. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. So we're adding on from these shapes. And remember, if it doesn't feel good, lower the feet. It doesn't matter. Let's go 3. Last 2. Holding the crunch on 1. Your right leg comes out to the right, pull it back in, lower the head. Exhale, lift, left leg out, pull it back in, and then lower. So we're using your inner thighs and your lower belly to do the work here. Open, close, and lower. This can always be done without the crunch, but use your breath. Lift, open, exhale, close, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, open the knee, exhale, close the knee, inhale, lower the head. Let's go 5, 4, 3, final 2, holding the head up on 1, holding your crunch, bring the legs back in. Now glue the legs together, open them wide, pull them back together. Open them wide, pull them back together. Can you keep your crunch? And can you start to think of your happy place? Let's go 3, 2, on 1, hold the knees out wide, hand, make a fist grip or a pistol shape as you start to reach. Like so, little pulses for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees in, lower the head. Take a little rock, a little sway. Bring the legs back to tabletop, and then bring the hands back behind the head. Take a full breath in. Exhale as you crunch, can you twist over to the right knee and hold. So lift both the shoulder blades, extend the left leg long, pull it back in. Extend the left leg long, pull it back in. Now working a little bit more through your obliques. If the hand or the elbow and the knee don't connect, don't worry about it, but find your range. Let's go 5, changing sides in 4, 3, let's go 2, on 1, bring the left leg in, lower the head. Exhale as you crunch over to the left with the right elbow, extend the right leg, pull it back in. Extend the right leg and pull it back in. Aiming for the shoulder blade to lift off the mat. Let's go 5, 4, now we're going double time in 3, in 2, on 1, bring the right leg in, change left leg long, and then change right leg long. So you're going side to side. All of a sudden, the core says hello, and remember, you're in control. So you just say hello back. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the head, bring the knees in. Take a little rock, a little sway. And then when you're ready, coming onto your right hand side. Getting as comfortable as you can. Your knees are bent and your hand or your bicep can be a pillow. Can you bring the feet together, knees together in line with the hips so your shins are facing the mat? Exhale, you lift the top knee and heel as 1. Inhale as you lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Now keeping the knee and heel in line. You may have heard me say this before, but I love side lying. It's my favorite way to work out because sometimes I'm a lazy girl, even as a Pilates instructor. Let's go 3, holding up in 2, holding up on 1. Now flex the left toe, extend the heel out, pull it back in, lower. Exhale, lift, extend, bend, and lower. Lift, extend, bend, and lower. Keep finding the combo, isolating all the different shapes. Lift, extend, bend, lower. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, on 1. Can you hold? Can you slide the heel back and then bring it forward? Slide the heel back, circle it forward. So we slide it back in line with the hip, then you kind of like a rainbow, bring it forward. slide it back, bring it forward. Slide it back, bring it forward. Notice if the hips start to move a little bit. Can you minimize the range, slow the shape, or start to deepen the breath? Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Can you slide the heel back in line with the hip? Now hand of the left comes in front of you. Keeping the left leg lifted, can you start to extend the right leg? You're gonna lift the right leg, lower the right leg. Lift the right leg and lower. Woo, I did say it was all about the thighs. Outer thighs, inner thighs, glutes, a little bit of obliques. Keep pressing into the left hand to help you. You can flex or point the toes, but keep the top leg lifted. It's kind of like a little fish out of water, mermaid out of water. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2. Can you hold on 1, both feet lifted off the mat? Start to really draw the belly button in. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower everything down on 1. Keep the position. Just take a moment to come back to your breath. Connect the heels. Turn the toes out, kind of like a little pizza slice. Now you can point or flex the toes. I like to flex. Can you start to lift the heels off the mat? Pull the knees into the chest. Extend the legs long. Pull the knees into the chest. Extend the legs long. Now the tip is to keep the heels super glued together. They're besties. They're enjoying their time together and they're making the most of it. So stay with your breath. And then this is maybe where your obliques join the party. They're invited, so let them have a good time and use your breath. Inhale in, exhale out. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, holding out on 1. No place like home. Tap the heels. Keep tapping the heels, point or flex the toes, just for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything down. Allow the front hip or the left hip just to open, and then start to make your way down onto your back. We're staying really close to the ground today, so hopefully that's a good thing. Bring the legs back into tabletop. Take a full breath in, but this time can you glue your legs together? Hands are coming to the sky, palms face the toes. Take a full breath in. Exhale as you find your crunch, hands by your side. Inhale as you lower. Exhale, find your crunch, hands by your side. Inhale, lower. Super gluing the legs together and start to point the toes. This time as you crunch, flick the legs to the sky, pull them back in. Flick the legs to the sky, pull them back in. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, holding up on 1. Now can you start to connect the heels, keep the hands by your side, keep the crunch. Slightly lower the legs, bring them back up. Slightly lower and back. Now you can always bring the hands behind the head. You can always lower the head. Just like before, the heels are super glued together. Let's go 3, 2, holding to your lowest point on 1. Bend the knees in, toes apart, heels together. Press, bend, and press. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Pull the knees in, lower the head. Take a little wriggle, a little shake out, and we're gonna add them all together. So legs come back to tabletop, hands come to the side. Take a full breath in. Exhale as you find your crunch. Option is hands behind the head. Now flick the legs to the sky, point the toes, heels together. Lower them halfway, pull the knees in, extend them long, reach them back to the sky. Lower, bend, extend, and reach. Don't be afraid to make modifications. If it feels better for your hands to be behind your head, take it. I'm going to take that option today because you know what? I really want to. Give yourself permission to be in the moment, to come back to your breath. 2 more. Last one here. Keep the heels together, point the toes, tapper, tapper. Legs are straight, maybe slightly lower. Can you stay here for 10? Come back to your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything down. Bring the knees out wide. Take a little rock, a little sway. When you're ready, bring your hands underneath your knees and just start to come up a few times. And we're going to start to even out the legs. So shimmy around, coming onto your left-hand side. Hand or bicep as your pillow. I prefer the hand, but it's up to you what you feel best. Knees together in line with your hips, and you're flexing through the toes. Take a full breath in. Exhale, lift your top hip. Take a full breath in. Exhale, lift your top knee. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Think about the knee and the heel moving as one, and the hip tries to stay stacked over the left. Now, next time we lift, we're going to start to add the kick. So lift, extend the leg, pull it back in and lower. Lift, extend the leg, bend and lower. Think of it like a little karate chop. And back. Keep in mind, we've done these shapes before, so I know you can do them again. You're so capable, and we're doing them together. Let's go 5, 4, 3, in 2, leg is straight, on 1, slide it back, and then lift it up and forward. Slide it back, lift up and forward. Now your hand can be in front of you. It can also be on the hip to help as feedback. So I think straight leg back, rainbow it forward. Straight leg back, rainbow it forward. Almost like a little semicircle. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, hold it all the way back on 1. Now keep the right leg where it is, bring the right hand down, and then start to extend the left leg long underneath the right. Keep flexing the right toes, and can you lift and lower the bottom leg? Almost like your inner thighs are magnets trying to connect. Notice what happens and how it feels to the other side. And stay with me for 5, 4, we are holding up in 3, in 2, holding up on 1. You can point or flex the toes, just lift both the legs for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the legs, connect the heels, turn the toes out, take a full breath in, and then start to lift the heels off the mat. So it's almost like you're using, or in fact you are, using your lower belly to lift the heels. Can you start to bend the knees in? Inhale. Exhale, press the heels away. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press. Now this shape is not easy. Well, at least it's not for me. So if you're like me, it's a little bit harder, that's okay. I always encourage you to try new shapes, challenge your practice where you can, but always know that you know best. You can find another shape, a base to what suits you. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Can you hold the heels, legs straight? Little tap of the heels. No place like home. You can point or flex the toes. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything down. Allow the right hip just to settle. And then start to make your way onto your belly or your tummy, pressing yourself up into a 4-point knee. Take a full breath in and full breath out. Might add some movements just to create some space with the spine. Can you start to tuck the tippy toes and keep the arms really straight, so shoulders over the wrist. Take a full breath in, and as you exhale, can you start to lift the knees, hover, just for 3, for 2, lower down on 1. We do this 2 more times. Exhale, lift and hover for 3, for 2, and 1. Lower back down. Last time here. Exhale, lift and hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Lower back down. Take a little rock back and forth just to take pressure off the wrists. Can you bring the hands directly under the shoulders? This time I have a wider stance as you start to step back into your high plank. Down dog, hips come to the sky. Inhale, you roll forward to find your plank. Down dog, hips to the sky. Inhale, and back. 2 more just like this. Last one here. And start to stay in your plank. Connect the heels to bring the toes out wide, keeping the arms straight. Can you bend the knees and then press forward? Bend the knees, press forward. Let's go 5. Last little finisher. 4, 3, 2, on 1. Can you just hold, drawing the upper back for 3, for 2, and 1. Come down to a child's pose. Maybe bring the hands by your side and let the forehead become really heavy. Allow everything to be really floppy. And using this opportunity to come back to your breath. I really hope your thighs, your glutes, your core got a really nice workout today. And I hope you can take this feeling into the rest of the day. Inhale as you start to just creep the fingertips towards the knees, coming up to a seat, and just roll the shoulders a few times, roll the head, give yourself a little pat on the back, give yourself a hug because you deserve it. And I will see you soon next time on the mat. Mwah.